Hello friends, neighbors, John your Wish neighbor here, welcome to the Nook, and it is Sunday, so we're shooting a sample, but you'll notice beside me, of course, I have a full bottle. That's because for this kind of sample comparison, Kirby and Calgary gave me this 25-year Enigma, another sample, so it's good that I can go back to it because I did both of these last February. And then James was by and he said, you weren't sure if you had the right Enigma, and so here's the actual bottle. This is Enigma 15. So this will still be in the nature of Sample Sunday. I tried to do that. I'll probably have another dram of this later, James. But for this sample, again, I just poured this and I just dropped out this Cadenhead's Enigma 25. So again, these are unknown. Blended malt, blended Scotch. We got a bit of grain. Why don't you pour a little bit and see if you get the same things as me. 3, 4. Thanks for coming back. We're going to start with the Enigma 15, although, it is a higher proof, and I usually do that last, but I often respect age by making it go last. So yeah, let's start with this one. This is when I normally put the bottle here, but my wife just got me a bottle turner. We'll see how that looks. The Enigma 15 does say right on the bottle, that it's Campbelltown, which is nice. And then we look around and lots of people have said this is Hazelburn and Kilkerran. A Hazelburn 15 and a Kilkerran 16. That'd be awesome. It's 48.2%. Does it say natural? Yep, non-chill, natural color right on there, which is lovely. Bourbon hogshead. So this is ex-bourbon, all malt, all from Campbelltown, possibly the mix that I said. Let's try this one on the nose. So last time I really went on about the mango and tropical and pineapple fruits. Right now it's kind of just a sweet fruit. It's interesting that it's quite different than that sample that I had last time. I'm just wondering if it needs to open up. Maybe it will with the palate. Yeah, there I got a little light, like a white pepper and a fruit cup fruitiness. So there is definite good fruit going on, but it's got a little bit of industrial note to it. A little bit of oh, there it is. There it is. Just like that. Absolutely. It was like it was waiting. Somehow it was building up in the glass or something, and boom. Now I've got like a full-on sort of a full fruit, a very ripe fruit, a little bit of banana, and a little bit of a stone fruit like a peach mixed together. Oh, I remember that nose. I think I got it right last February. Very fruity on the nose. Let's try this one on the palate. Sláinte. And now it's rolling in maltiness, in malt sugars, in ginger spices, in a little bit of nuttiness, some sweet almond, like coconut. Oh, actually, that's pretty good. I'm going to have another little sip with you guys. Cheers. More of that. I know I've been talking a lot about almost cut oats, like coconut nut breadiness with still that fruit that's coming back now as I'm breathing it, because the palate itself is not that fruity for me. I mean, there is absolute sweet sugar bourbon notes in there, but the nose is so fruity. Like it really reminds me of a really luscious shoot right out of my head, but a very fruity space side that I like. But right now, and now you get a little more of that heart, a little more of that meatiness that I'd expect out of a Campbelltown. So this is a really nice dram. I'm glad James let me have the bottle so I can hold it and look at it and spin it around for you guys. And then I for sure know, yeah, I have at least really tried and tasted the Enigma 15. It's a tasting again, but it's rating well. I think I've seen this still on the shelves in a couple places. This is a great blended malt. So down in Calgary, I met Kirby and he gave me a couple samples. And one of them that he gave me is the Enigma 25, which kicked off the idea of doing this comparison again, because now I have the 25 again. And this one is, you know, blended malt and blended grain. The youngest of anything in there can be 25 years. So it's got 10 years on this over here. But it is so different. Whereas this is all of those things, all that fruit and malt and a little bit of industrial. This is industrial in a different way. It is a bit grainy. It's a bit dusty. It's a bit light smoky. It's a bit oaky. No, not a bit. It's a lot oaky. Yeah, I'm definitely getting more wood influence on this. And more, it's not cinnamon, it's hazelnut. Yeah, it's something kind of leathery. Yeah, leathery, oaky, raisin. I know this one is all sherry butts. So this is all sherry maturation. It is darker, not wildly darker, but it is darker than the 15. I better get this one on the palate and see how that's going to help my nose. Sunshine. So I actually have been drinking a lot more grain whiskeys lately, and there is an interesting light grain, light white bread, not white bread, but you know, that kind of easier sipping. I'm gonna try another sip. Cheers. You know, I gotta sit down and just write out some new tasting notes for you guys. I feel like I'm saying the same things over and over. This one is definitely drier across the end of the palate. I've mentioned a bit of, you know, older oaks. The sherries in here are really dry. So I'm talking raisin, I'm talking dried fruits, rinds. Oh yeah, rinds. I remember mentioning orange on this on the first time around. I didn't say that to you today. Am I getting any of that? In this, it's like, is it star anise? I'm trying to think if there's some dried spices that I've been looking at lately. And that's what this is giving me an impression of. You know, I like it, and I like it in a contrast, but it is drinking a little bit like a really old Canadian grain whiskey. It's got more character than that. Try a last sip. Oh, it's very light across the palate. Really, almost refreshing across the palate. Light, but those dried spices and dried fruits and a little bit grainy, husky, a little leather, light smoke. Maybe a little bit of, I don't know. It's very interesting. Between these two, I am enjoying the 15 more, and I remember that the first time round. And it's interesting because this is like 10 years older, but this one has a little more chew and lots more fruit and a bit more character. But this is quite a nice, relaxing, drying dram. Interesting. Well, those are my return thoughts, because I looked up and I went, oh wow, it's almost been a year. I shot these in samples. I got them from Whiskey Drop last time back in February, and now I've got this bottle from James and a nice sample from Kirby. Thank you, sir. What do you guys think? Have you returned to these? Have you had them again? Did you buy the 15 or the 25? What are your thoughts? I love the idea of Enigma. Two things that happen. One is we all start guessing and then we start comparing notes. And the other is perhaps we try to see, is this blended malt or, you know, blended Scotch good, and can it stand up to single malts? We're seeing a lot more blends these days. Take care.